In China, we have a term called 5/6E. What it means is the BMW 5 Series, Audi A6, and the Mercedes E-Class. So they are the representatives of executive saloons. And now, the car behind me, the Nio ET7, when it first came out, the CEO claimed this is a challenger and this would be one of the best executive saloons. So today I'm going to talk about the exterior, the interior, and how it drives on the car. My name is Fei Yan and you're watching Rev China. Talking about the look of this car, the elephant in the room, the three horns, as I call it, on top of the car. In the middle, the large one is a LiDAR, which is a laser radar, and the two on the sides are 800 megapixel cameras. And you actually have 33 sensors, cameras, and radars on this car. And this car is equipped with level 4 auto driving. And the design of this car, I'm not going to talk about whether it's good looking or not, because this is very individualized thing. You may like it, you may hate it, but look at the front of this car, you can definitely see the family resemblance in here. So you get the same thin daily running lights, you get the same kind of U-shaped LED matrix lights, you have the same front bumpers as well. And then on this car you have the moon package, as they call it. So everything on this car, the chrome shiny bits, have been covered by tinted grayed out material. On the side, the cars come with 19-inch alloy wheels as standard, but you can choose up to 21-inch alloy wheels. There are actually 5 different choices that Nio has given you. So the car we have here has the long range alloy wheels, which the biggest tires on here, which saves energy and gives you a bit of more range. So there's your performance tires and wheels. There's also carbon fiber wheels that if you wish to choose from. And on the side you have these touch sensitive door handles. You only need to lightly press here, door opens, and all cars comes with these frameless windows as standard. And all cars also comes with soft closing doors, so you don't have to slam your door, just press it in and it closes automatically. On the back here, there's also a Nio badge here, and then these ET7 with the orange bar down there, and you have a streamlined light bar on the back here. And then this is the boot. It has a sloping roof, but unfortunately this is not a hatchback. The opening for the boot is not that big. The boot itself is okay size in comparison to other executive saloons. It might be on the smaller side because although it's pretty deep going in, it is narrower because it has to fit in the air suspension on the side. Now I'm sitting in the driver's cabin. I have to say the building quality in this car is impeccable. Everywhere that you can touch, either made of Napa leather or soft and squeegee materials. This is a 2-spoke steering wheel, which is covered by Napa leather as well. The seat itself is really supportive and comfortable. I can be here all day. All seats within this car, front and back, are ventilated, heated, and comes with massage function. In front of me there is a small driver's display. We're going to talk about a bit more about it when we are on the road. And in the center here you have a 12.8-inch touch screen, which is the central infotainment system. In the middle here you have a kind of a symbol Nio, what they call Nomi, which is a cartoonized little robot that you can talk to. For example, hi Nomi, 打开音乐。现在为你播放音乐. In the center console, there is a wireless charging pad, 2 cup holders. I think one of the probably the best ergonomic designed gear lever in here. Push up to reverse, down for drive, and then your parking button is on the side. So you can rest your hand on here. One of the points I want to talk about is the air conditioning. As you can see, there is no air vents on this car. It's actually all hidden. And there are 2 lines hidden underneath the dashboard. One of them blows out air horizontally like this, and the other one vertically. The air actually glide in the middle of the air and then it spreads out, so it gives you more of a natural wind feel when it's not actually blowing right into your face or any part of your body. So one of the things I don't quite like in this car, I've said the same for Tesla as well. For example, the switches for your side mirrors are actually hidden in the operating system, and also the controls for your steering wheel is in there as well, although you can actually ask Nomi to do it. Right, the central infotainment system, so basically you get everything you need in here. There's your satellite navigation, there's your music player, and there's your car controls, so you can change the windows and mirrors, your lighting, your ambient lighting in here. You can play whatever you want to watch on here. But having said that, this is not the biggest screen in the car, so you know, watching videos on here is probably not really recommended because it's kind of on the small side. In the center console, because there is no transmission, you have a large storage area. You can put your bag or whatever you want in there. All of these stitches on the seats are handmade. So as you can see, the stitching is actually hidden underneath. Because of this stitching or handmade, one artisan can only make 8 seats per day. This car, as standard, comes with a 23 speaker sound system. I've actually tested it out through the day when I was driving it. I think one of the best sound system in any car that I have driven, because there are so many speakers and bass, you can't really tell where the sound is coming from. It actually feels like you are in a live environment, and the sound actually moves from side to side. It gives you a feel that you're watching a band live performing. So, you know, when a bass is playing, it's on your left side and the guitar comes from your right. I'm now sitting in the second row. As I said before, this car inspires to be one of the best executive cars, and it is trying to beat the likes of the BMW 5 Series or the Audi A6. And I have to say, room-wise, this is probably better than any of the cars that are currently on the market. Sitting at the back, that front seat is my usual driving position. I have tons of knee room. I have about 2 fists of headroom as well. This panoramic sunroof doesn't really eat into your headspace, which is really good. Sitting back here, you can feel you are sitting outside in the natural environment, because the lights coming from the side windows and also the panoramic sunroof. The seats are made of the same material as the front seats, but because the battery is down there, you'll actually sit a little bit jacked up. There is no transmission tunnel, so the floor down here is completely flat. If someone is trying to sit in the middle, it's okay. In front of me, there is a small screen that you can control the air conditioning, your heating and ventilation of the seat. In the middle, you have a large armrest. I'm going to expect another wireless charging pad down here, but unfortunately it's not available. And another point I want to say is these cup holders. It's a bit flimsy. I think you probably not expect to find these kind of building quality on a car at this price range. Nio claims this car is 7 centimeters wider than a BMW 7 Series. Sitting in here, I do feel there are loads of room next to me. On the side, this is actually curved in. Sitting in here, you feel like you're being hugged and you can properly relax and sit back. This car has many driving modes, as you would expect from all of these new cars and electric cars. Comfort, you have Eco, you have Sport, and then the most ludicrous mode, Sport Plus. Now at Sport Plus mode, this car has a claimed 0 to 100 timing of just over 3.8 seconds, and this is on par with the likes of the RX-6 or even the BMW M5. I'm now in the comfort mode. This car is really serene. I have to say, all cars comes with double glazing windows. You don't really get much of road noise, but I'm currently sitting on the 19-inch alloys. It does give you a little bit of a road noise when you're driving fast, maybe because the cabin is so quiet, you can't really hear anything else other than that. And this car has a dragging coefficient rather of 0.208, which is the second lowest in any production car, which means first of all it saves energy, secondly it reduces the wind noise as well. The driving position itself, you sit a bit lower than usual, so it gives you a bit more of a sporty feel, but the A pillar here is tiny in comparison to the size of this car. Your viewing angle outside is brilliant thanks to the big panoramic sunroof ahead and all of these big windows on the side. You feel this car is really light and airy. As I said before, this is a huge car. It's 5.1 meters long and almost 2 meters wide, but on the road you don't really feel the car is that big. It feels like a more smaller and agile car, unless when you come to your U-turns, because this car's wheelbase is more than 3 meters long. This car's got 33 different sensors and cameras over the body, and the big LiDAR in front of us is a laser radar, and it sees out almost 500 meters. And using the information around from these cameras and sensors, I have a really clear information system in front of me. It lays out pretty much everything on the road, so you don't really get any blind spots. Even the traffic lights and the cones on the side is clearly in view with this infotainment system. This infotainment system also shows you your speed as well. It's crystal clear. It's not the largest in any production car, especially in electric cars. It's not futuristic, but this car's aiming for a executive saloon. That's probably not what you need. Air suspension, which is adjustable in height. It also comes with CDC, which means you can adjust the hardness of the suspension yourself. If I go into individual mode, you can set the driving mode. For example, if you want to go Sport Plus, you can also change the energy recuperation degree, and then you can also change your steering mode. You change it to a bit more heavier or light as you wish. Having said, range has 2 battery packs you can choose from. One is a 75 kilowatt battery, the other is a 100 kilowatt battery. So the 75 kilowatt battery gives you about 500 kilometers of range. The 100 kilowatt battery gives you roughly 600 kilometers of range. I'm currently in the sport mode, which is one down from the Sport Plus mode. At this mode, your 0 to 100 acceleration is at 5.9 seconds. You instantly feel that your acceleration pedal goes a bit heavier. It's also a lot more responsive, and there's a lot more energy recuperation as well. Once you lift your feet up, then you do feel the car jerks a little bit. Let me put this car into the Sport Plus mode, which is the most sporty mode, and that gives you a 0 to 100 timing of 3.8 seconds. I'm now sitting in a lot of traffic, so let's try out the actual acceleration or a launch control later on. Driving on a busy road, there's not much of a difference between this Sport Plus mode and the Sport mode. The acceleration is really responsive, and you get a lot more energy recuperation as well. The suspension, you do feel is hardened up. Right, I'm now in the Sport Plus mode, and I'm in a section of open road. Let's test out this car's actual acceleration time. You ready? 3, 2, 1. The acceleration is, as you would expect, instant. I would say quite raw and aggressive. It does give you heart a bit of a pump. I think sometimes you probably want to try this out a few times. When you are having a bad day, this will probably put a grin on your face. When you in the Sport Plus mode, the suspension is pretty hard. Going over ramps and bumps and stuff, you can definitely feel it on your bum. So that is probably not the mode that you're going to be on all day in. I'm now sitting at the back of this car. We don't normally test back seats of cars, but because this is a executive saloon, a lot of times bosses will sit at the back. For me, I have to say, this sitting back here is really relaxing. The ride quality is on par, if not better, than Audi A6 or a Mercedes E-Class, which are its main rivals. So sitting here as a boss, now let's talk about business. This car has a starting price of roughly 500,000 RMB, which is about 70,000 US dollars. It's certainly not cheap. And a few years back, Nio released its first car called the ES8. It has the same price range, and it was actually the first Chinese manufacturer daring to put up with such a price range. And this car's selling price, you can get a mid-range Mercedes E-Class, a Audi A6 or a BMW M5. So this is kind of a very daring proposition to a lot of people. To me, I'll probably go for this car. There are a few things I think Nio could consider to improve the car, which is probably not going to cost them much. Firstly, this car is a really wide car. It's almost 2 meters wide. At tight parking places, it's really difficult to get in and out. It can introduce a summon kind of command in its app. So basically you can use your phone to get the car in and out of tight parking positions. And secondly, the wheel base of this car is more than 3 meters long, and that you could feel it when you trying to turn around or doing U-turns. Maybe you can add in as a cost option rear wheel steering, and that's gonna definitely help the maneuverability within the city. Third thing is I have a pad in front of me in the second row that controls the ventilation and heating of the seat, but you have to lean down to actually reach it. So why don't they move it onto the armrest, and that's going to help you, the bosses, to actually control the environment and make themselves comfortable. This car has auto parking. All you need to do is select the parking place that you want to do and then press park. The car is going to do all the maneuvers itself. Now, to conclude on this video, as I said at the beginning of this video, Nio's ET7 inspired to be one of the best executive saloons in China. To me, this car has better car and person interactive. It has better technology. The comfort is on par, if not better, than any of its rivals. In China, I think Mercedes is quite a status symbol. So driving a Mercedes-Benz, it means you have made it. And BMW 5 Series has a more sporty fame to it. So this car's rival actually to me is the Audi A6. It's understated, it's not flashy, it's comfortable, it's calm, it's serene. It actually has more performance than you need. So if you had a choice between a Audi A6 L and this car, which one would you go for?